Welcome back to the channel, folks, and to another battle report. Now, if you saw last week's report, you would have seen me having a little bit of a rant after our recent experiences playing games where both sides have to take an objective and they're both subject to reserves. They basically time out and we end up with draws on so many occasions because recording battle reports can be quite time consuming, and even on an ordinary game you might only have so much time to play it. So we're moving on to a different approach where we're going to be playing attack or manoeuvre versus defend and building our lists accordingly. So this is our first mission, and we're going to start with myself against Peter, with Peter attacking using veteran US armour and me using some fairly vanilla veteran Germans from DD German. Let's go and have a look at the lists and take it from there. Right, Peter, what have you got today?
It's a list from the Bulge book. It's a veteran Sherman formation, HQ of 276s. One's a jumbo, and then two platoons of four, 276s and one jumbo in each of them. And then the mortars are part of the platoon as well. So that's the formation. And then support, I've got two batteries of priests, a recon, and some glider infantry. They're all careful, veteran.
Careful, confident.
Yeah, careful.
And then those guys have got the crafty.
Yes, they're
For the
crafty.
3-up orders.
Yes.
Those guys are careful, confident veterans.
Yes.
They'll be, your priests will be aggressive,
Yes.
confident veterans, I think.
Yes, they will be. I'm sure they will be.
Let me double check. So it's not a big force, but it's got 3 jumbos. Your 76 has got the HV.
Yes, the HQ, the 276 and the HQ don't have it,
Right.
but the 4 within the platoons have it.
So there's some good armour, some good anti-tank, so lots of artillery, so lots of smoke bombardments and some infantry for when it gets up close and personal. So here is my defensive German list, and I've used the DD German book. So just to get away from all the late war, I hate to use the word, but meta that everybody is using these days, and just use something that we're maybe not going to see very often. Now there might be a reason why you don't see it very often, because you don't get a lot for your points. These are all good quality in terms of the soft skills, but for instance infantry don't have 2 Fausts, they've only got the 1 Faust. You know, the Panzer IVs are expensive, but they're only front armour 6, anti-tank 11, and so on. So you pay more for the veteran status, the careful, and that 3-up last stand than you do for the equipment that you carry. But nevertheless, I want to give these guys a go. So let's go through the formation. So the core formation is a HQ, typical 2 bases, and then 2 platoons of 7 Panzer Grenadiers with a Faust and a Shrek. And then they've got a cannon platoon and Pak 40s. That's the core formation. And then in support they have got 3 stews. I would have preferred Stooks, but the 2-point difference between the stews and the Stooks allowed me to have this lot here all on the table and this lot in reserve. If I was to use them as Stooks, it was going to get really awkward. Something else would have to go into reserve, you know, because I'd have to find 2 points from somewhere, and the cheapest scout option, for instance, was 3 points, you know, so they're going to be stews. However, it gives me another artillery bombardment. They've got the 4 Panzer IVs. Now, they're only anti-tank 11, you know, front armour 6, but they are careful. They've got good shooting and scooting skills and so on, so they might be able to be survivable. Maybe not do a lot of damage, but maybe stay alive. Then the Wesps with the Observer, kind of a go-to for your German artillery, because you're either going to take that or maybe Nebs, but then, you know, they're quite hard to use, especially in defence when your opponent is getting closer to you and you've got that standoff distance, you know, the danger close distance to worry about. And then of course there is the 10.5s, but that's 14 points for a platoon. You do get 4, but it's still 14 points compared to 9. so most people go for the Wisps. Then I got 2 Pumas because I had a few points going spare and it really had to go into the reserve option. They could be useful if I'm playing a more mobile kind of game, perhaps, you know, and doing kind of spearheads and so on, but they're really just there as a cheap unit. So it's a very small force. It's not going to cover the table very well, but it is going to defend. My best bet is for a compact defensive zone where they can support each other. The worst fear for this is where the things become isolated, you know, a wide deployment zone where they're going to have to fight their own individual battles. But anyway, there you go. Let's give these old lists a run out and see how they do. Today's mission is Covering Force, which is a revised version of Fighting Withdrawal, or all the other similar names for this kind of mission. So the main thing about this mission is that the defender starts with everything on the table and they have to withdraw platoons in this version of the mission from turn 3 onwards. And I won't go into the precise details of how the withdrawal works, better to read the mission and fool yourself for that, folks, but there'll be a certain point at which you may stop withdrawing because you've not got enough left on the table. The good thing about this for the defender is they've got everything on the table. They can do a lot of damage, but the bad thing is they're going to have less and less things on the table as they go, and they could even be pushing towards formation break as you go, because things that you withdraw are no longer counting towards your formation good spirits. Your losses are not counting towards the formation good spirits. So withdrawal is a very interesting part of this game. What do you withdraw? What do you keep? You know, what effect is it going to have next turn? For instance, if you withdraw a certain unit and you end up in a formation break situation, there's a lot going on. Very interesting. For the attacker, well, obviously they've got to deal with the first initial turns a lot of the enemy. It's very tricky, but they've got to stick at it. They've got until their turn 7 to take an objective, so they have to be a bit cagey about it. They can oblige the defender to defend quite wide, quite far apart, because of the width of that deployment zone for the objectives. Now for the list that I am using, this is a tricky mission because I don't have any really small units to get rid of. Everything, apart from the Pumas, everything's really important to me in this list. It's all got a part to play, so I'm going to miss everything I have to withdraw. And also, because of that wide deployment zone for the objectives, my platoons of infantry are probably going to end up having to fight individually as opposed to mutually supporting each other. So very interesting mission. Peter doesn't have a lot to use in terms of armour. I'm probably going to have to be fighting isolated groups, so let's see what happens. Right folks, we've deployed. I chose this end to defend, the reason being it's got 2 hills, a wood, and that's a nice collection of buildings here, so it's quite a solid defensive line. It's a bit open on this side though, but otherwise it's got good cover. The other side didn't really have any hills apart from this one, which is a little bit too far forward. So this was the end I defended, and you can see, Peter, you've put down an objective.
That's one of my priests over there, and the other priest is up here.
Oh, that's your pre-ranged ins, yeah.
Yes.
So
yes.
Objectives here and here.
The objectives, right.
Just to split me up.
Yes, just to split.
And then you've got lots of pre-ranged, and you've got priest. That priest?
Priest. That's the wee mortar for the recon.
Aye.
And then that's the armoured. Oh, I've got another one. Bloody hell. That was those guys. That's those guys. Where's the...
Oh no, the priest is over there. Right, it's a priest here. Yes. There's that many folks.
Yes.
Hopefully Peter will forget about him during the game as well. And a priest there. And then we've got...
That's
armoured mortars.
That's
scouts.
That's the scouts.
Infantry.
That's the infantry.
Well, infantry, scouts.
Scouts, yeah.
So basically try to deny these buildings to me. And then put that down in front of the objective to push me to defend it from further back. I've got 2 pre-ranged in, and I just put them in woods to try and push artillery away from using them as cover to sit deep inside them. So in terms of deployment, I've got an ambush, which is 4x40s, and then I've got a platoon plus my HQ, And then we've got my Stumos hiding behind the woods as much as I can. My Stews hiding behind a hill. My Wesps and Yamacars behind these houses here. And then I've got Observer, 4 Panzer IVs, and then a final platoon. So Peter, you are spread across the table. What have you got?
Yes, well I wanted to keep
Stretch me.
you. So I've got one Sherman platoon here with the HQ, and then one over here on this side, and then I've got there one priest here, armoured mortars here, recon here, and the infantry here.
Oh, I forgot to mention the minefields, folks.
Yes, those are minefields.
So as you can see, I'm trying to protect the front of this objective with minefields, knowing that getting into buildings is a good way for infantry to attack. I put these here. They can be easily cleared, but they will slow them down. So there seems to be more strength on this side.
Yes, I thought that side of the table looked a bit easier. And your deployment, you get your 4 Panzer IVs over there, so if they can keep them busy,
I'll try and come over this side. And remember, folks, I'm going to start losing platoons, and each one of my platoons is quite valuable, so I don't necessarily want to be losing or giving any of them away as well as losing some. So that's us ready to start. We'll come back for turn 1. Turn 1. US turn 1 movement, and Peter's going to start his main attack on the left hand side there, moving his Shermans up on that extreme flank with the idea of pushing down the open terrain. Now that's good in terms of reducing the level of ambush opportunities I've got. You see, he's also trying to get as close to that wood as he can in his first move. He's got smoke, and that's going to be his best defence. And then the infantry are going to start moving up, not as quick as they can, because he wants to take full advantage of the protection of the houses. His scouts are pushing a bit more into the middle, good observation point, and possibly a position which they can put out some fire if need be. And then over on the right, Peter's taking his 2nd Sherman platoon and hiding them in between the 2 factories there. He knows I've got a platoon of Panzer IVs on that flank. He doesn't want them roaming around free, but he doesn't want to risk a head-to-head clash. He doesn't have to, not there just now, so he's going to keep out line of sight.
American turn 1 shooting. So there's only going to be, I think, artillery bombardments.
Yeah, because everyone else is dashing or staying on the ground.
So these guys over here, there's nothing under that, is there? Right, you'd have
There's one base.
No, let's try and range in sort of in the middle there.
Right, you'll be able to see.
Nothing in the middle, yeah.
You'll be able to see past the hill. Say potentially get 6.
So is that in the open, Frank, or is there something covering it?
I didn't really get it in the open, to be honest. Like that. Top of him.
Okay, so they're veteran.
Right. I'll do it.
Just.
It's not. Was that the first attempt? I can't remember. Was that green? Was it
No, it was second attempt.
Second attempt, right, okay. Right, so we'll roll first guy.
So 4s, 5s.
Yeah.
No. Yep. Is that it?
Yeah, this
Two.
To miss the terrain, you had to do it like that.
Yeah.
No, wait a minute. No,
Well, it's over the hill there, Frank. If you.
No, if I do it like that, I suppose it is pushing onto the hill.
Yeah.
Right, okay, so first guy, second guy, they're saved, but they're targeted. Truly targeted now. Right, next up.
That's up there. Let's look at this.
Try to see what the other battery can see.
Yeah.
This is the blue one.
I didn't bring an observer because I didn't have points, which is maybe a stook, but not to worry.
They might just have to really bully those guys.
So I think they'll try and range in just short of that, to see
Right.
where the wee line ends.
Oh.
So they are currently the blue one, which is up in the hill there.
Right, so this will be on the terrain.
Yeah. That'll be 4s.
Yep. I'll do it. So they'll need to re-roll successful saves by the time on target.
So
Right,
it's
so
just the 4 of them, is it? Just
well, first of all, there's a HQ, so that's 2.
2. Let's see if we can. 1 hit.
So one's hit. Right, and then there's going to be 1, 2, 3.
So the guy at the front. Oh, yeah. The one in the wood. No, and then this guy. Right.
So platoon HQ. Right, so re-roll successfuls. So chance to kill one of the HQs.
No.
Right. Is that just one hit? Is it?
It was 1 hit, I think, in the HQ.
Oh, damn it. I'll double check it, but anyway, he's okay. I'll just roll, see it, and he would have been okay if there wasn't like that. Right, so there. Him as well. Well and truly ranged in on. That's the thing though, when you're infantry folks, you're going to get a... If you're going to sit there, you're going to get a gubbin. Right.
The 40, yes. So they'll try and range in probably just over there.
Right. So this is this one.
This is just a wee infantry guy.
By the way, folks,
he's veteran, so.
we use bits of blue tack so you can range in on houses. Right.
So 4s again. So yeah.
Guess who's not staying there next time? Right. Now then, you could put that. Oh,
Well, it's going to work because of that house there.
Right, you can get this lot here. See,
Right. Okay.
put it back there. So the HQ.
So this is just the to hit then, and I won't do the rerolls, or I'll do the rerolls together.
Well, just there's 2 in the unit, so well.
So this is to hit the 2 unit.
Right, so reroll one of them because one's missed.
No, missed.
Right, and then we'll do them individually.
Yeah, and reroll that one.
Yep.
Yeah, and then
Just because. Nope.
missed.
No. So right at the front, he's passed his save. So there's now 3 ranged in markers there. The jeep's moved, so that'll be that one here.
Yes, that one there, and yes.
And you've still got 1 more battery to go.
Oh yes. What can I see though? That's the goal.
You can see down this line here. This is these
So
guys.
yes, let's do.
I should really show you what's getting clobbered here, folks. Sorry.
Let's do that.
These are the guys that are taking the beating.
I think I'm going to have to go for the hill, over the hill, sort
Let's
of.
see. Yeah, it's going to be
Get
terrain.
as many as I can.
So there you could get 2, 4, 5.
And then just check there. Veterans as well. Well, they're trained, so that'll be a 5.
Right. Potentially 6 guys there.
Last
First
attempt.
Right, so first guy.
Nope.
Next guy.
Nope.
No, next guy. No, next guy. Next guy. Last guy. Absolutely overkill without killing anything. But next time they'd be eviscerated, so they're going to have to leave. Right, is that the end of your artillery blitz?
Yes, that's totally finished.
Right. So German turn 1 start step. Do the infantry unpin? And they do. I've got 2 dice because my HQs are with them. Does the HQ unpin? Yes. So on to movement and any potential ambushes. German turn 1 movement. Well, I'm going to take my Stummels and advance them to the centre of the table. There's not a great deal of direct threats against them there, and they have the potential to move out and start taking out some of the artillery that is absolutely hammering my infantry. And there's no point in sitting my infantry under those hundreds of templates, so it's very dangerous, but I'm going to pull them back out of the templates and start off what's going to be a bit of a hokey cokey. Now over on the right, my Panzer IVs are going to stay put just now. I'm not sure what those Shermans are going to do in this mission. It really really important that you use your strong assets whilst you have them, but they're kind of stuck in a corner there. So German turn 1 shooting. It's really just going to be bombardments, I think. I'm going to use my observer on the hill to range in on the west over there. I'll figure out exactly what my line of sight will be in a minute. Let's just see if I range in first. So 4 will get it, second attempt. Right. So I think I can probably only get one of them.
Is that this guy here?
No.
Is it this one?
Yep. So I can see 2 inches into the wood. I don't know if that will stretch to catching to them. You can maybe check.
You maybe get 2, yeah. So you can, what's 2 in from?
2 in from. I don't think it's going to get one.
When you spot him over there, so
It's only going to get the one. And he's hit. Saved. Right, the next lot, the Stu's using my second in command, who is down here. I'm going to try and range in over there. Once again, I'll roll and then figure out. Let me see if that will get first attempt.
so
you can see up here, so I'll probably get 2. So, not another one. That one's hit. Saved. And that's going to be it, folks. If I had my ambush popping, I could do more shooting, but they're too well armoured and too far away for that to work this turn, so that'll be me for turn 1. Turn 2. US turn 2 movement, and the Shermans are going to continue their advance along that nice open avenue on the left. This turn Peter is going to use smoke to give them some cover. He's also going to leave his HQ in the wood there to deny it to me as an ambush point, because I could ambush from behind if he was just to keep strolling on and ignore that piece of good terrain. The infantry are going to keep moving up and they're going to skirt around those minefields. So I have to admit, I put those minefields in the wrong place, because he could have cleared them from behind the houses and I wouldn't be able to shoot at him. So whilst I wanted to deny the houses to him, and I did in the end, the minefields were still in the wrong place. And over on the right, between the factories, the Shermans are still going to keep their heads down and pin my Panzer IVs down.
US shooting. So I'm going to, first of all, I'm going to try a smoke bombardment over here.
It's from your mortars?
Mortars, yes.
I'll do it. So where is it going?
So it's going to try and cover. So I've got 6 of these guys, so I'm trying to try and cover. I'm not going to. Just going to try and put them over here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Just going to put it here for to cover.
Potential for ambush along that hedge line, that's what he's really worried about.
I was going to try and take pot shots at there, but I think I'm safer just to cover them. So that is the yellow. Now, let's see what I can see. What can I see?
So currently, you've got him underneath. Whatever that one is.
Yes, I think so. I'm going to try and pop it in the middle there, somewhere. So.
Right, it's coming. It's probably going to end up like this with the line of the hill if you're not using an observer.
Well, I was maybe going to use him.
Right, okay.
Or let's see what.
Right, up here you can see down like that.
But I might need him for. No, yes. So him here will spot for as many, and it's that red. Do that. So. Trains, it'll be fours to range in.
Who's firing?
It's the priests.
Are they only trained?
Oh no, sorry.
Veteran.
3 going up to 4 because of the.
Yeah. Aye. Second attempt. That's all you need really. Just get it ranged down there in the open. So there's going to be this guy here.
On a 5.
Yeah.
5. So this guy. Nope.
Next guy.
Nope.
Next guy.
Yep.
Next guy. Next guy.
Nope.
Okay, so turn this around a bit, folks. Only one here taking a hit, but unfortunately he's failed. And because I'm in the open, no firepower needed. Right, next lot.
The next lot can't really see anything, so they're going to have.
Oh, hold on, that's my formation HQ. Right, he's going to have to try a warrior save. He passes. Thankfully, otherwise he was out of command of the second in command. So he's going to go over to this guy here. Formation HQ, failed the save straight away. Oh, that's what I was looking for. Right, sorry.
So I can't really see anything with these guys, so I think I'm going to have to try to put on
right.
there.
So the other ones are going to go for these 2 moles. Oops, a daisy. So they're looking for 4.
4s. Oh, I didn't get it. So that's the blue ones. This guy.
Right, the wee individual
para.
mortar. You've still got second in command underneath. I'm sure that's his one, isn't it?
Yeah. So. What else?
He's not got much else you can see other than try to aim 2 inches into the wood.
No, that's not. That's this wee jeep.
He moved last time.
He moved it, so it must have been. Sorry, that's.
You want to swap them out?
Yeah. You
Take that back. He will fire this turn because you've not got enough artillery. Right, so you're ranged in there now.
Yeah.
You could try to rearrange them 2 inches into the wood.
Yeah. So let's try that. I'll try.
Right.
So that'll be 4.
Force. Third attempt. So it's 6s with reroll. So the first guy. Nope. Next guy. Nearly.
Oh, very close. Nope.
No. But it's ranged in here now.
So this wee guy is going to try and range in on that.
Can you come in?
Yeah, let's try. Yeah.
Like that kind of line.
Yes.
There. Right, so it'll be 5s. 4, sorry.
Yeah. Just check that.
He'll be veteran.
Well, okay, work with that.
First attempt. Right, so. First guy. Nope. Next guy. Yep. Next guy. Nope. Last guy. Yep. So, the last guys and the first guy, so they're saved. Very pinned down.
They failed, didn't they? They failed.
They tried to range there on the stimulus.
So I think that's going to be me.
German turn 2 start step, so do the infantry unpin. They do the HQ unpin, he does. And that sets on to movement. German turn 2 movement, still no ambush from me folks. That smoke bombardment and the many others that can still be deployed is going to be a big problem for me. The hill I was going to use on the bottom left there is becoming more of a liability now. Elsewhere in the centre I have got a successful blitz and move my pumas up to start shooting at the priests, and then 4 successful cross checks. Whew, my dice are on fire here folks, to get the stumos into range of 2 of them. They've only got a 24-inch range, but hopefully I can do some damage to the artillery that I'm getting really scared of now. The infantry are well on the way with the hokey cokey now, moving back forward again. They can't stay where they are because A, they're not on the objective, and B, they're under all the templates. So I'm just forcing Peter to range in again and hoping it'll reduce the number of hits that I get. And as you can see, the Stumos have had to relocate to next turn. They would be getting shot to bits with no cover from those Shermans that are coming around the hill, so they've had to get themselves around the back of the wood. Country movement's going to start with a smoke bombardment using my wesps, which are just over here. And thankfully I make it because I'm going to put it on top of my infantry. Right, because they could just get machine gunned to bits by all the Shermans that are there. This will at least give them some protection and force you to get in close. Starting with the Pumas, they've got one in range. Right, so that'll be 4 shots, but I can only hit one guy, but I'm needing 5s. Right, 2 hits on that guy to tank 9. You'll go up to 4 on the front. So 1 chance to kill, 1 to bail. So the kill does it. Right, so the other ones, 2 of them have got range and the other ones are out of range. So these are going to shoot, the 2 that are out of range of the priests will go for the scouts. So I really have to go for the mortar half track that fired. Right, so that'll be 5s.
6s because they're going to ground. Oh no,
he isn't.
5.
Yeah. Oof. The other ones are going to go for the priests. Oh, that was an absolute disaster, folks. That could have really took the guts out of your artillery there. Right, so they've turn 3. US turn 3 movement. Shermans on the left there are still advancing carefully, edging their way up. The HQ are still going to try and dominate that wood to deny it as an ambush position, and then the other tanks are going to get into position to try and clobber my Stummels. There is a bit of a hole in the centre of the German position just now, so getting rid of the Stummels and the Pumas might be a good call. Infantry are keeping swinging around those minefields. And then as a wee afterthought, Peter decided he's going to get that 2nd platoon into action and get some more dice down on the Puma platoon. And these guys are past to follow me.
Okay, so American turn 3 shooting. So I'm going to try some more smoke.
Right.
Got to try that. That's the only.
So is it using these, please?
Yes. Let's try these guys, and I think they'll go somewhere.
They've got a nice line of sight right the way down the road. Yeah.
So I think. Let's do that. Yes, so.
Right.
So 3 4s.
3 up. Smoke doesn't
Of
get affected by terrain. Right, so I'll get some smoke down.
So I want to get 4 of these boys. So I want it to be. You could put it there, couldn't you? You've got to be. Let's put it up there.
Right, smoke on the hill.
And I also want to put smoke down over here from
Or these priests, and they want to put it on to
here or something. Yeah.
right, to protect your other priest battery.
So they
Right, so have they got line of sight? You could call it in with these guys.
These guys, yeah. So
Right, but whoever calls it in doesn't shoot this
yeah,
time.
yeah, that's okay. Okay.
Right, so setting smoke. That'll do it.
1, 2, 3. Yeah, so that's
Is that all your smoke bombardments used?
yes.
Right, mine's used up as well, so no more smoke unless it's burning wrecks. Right, so what other shooting do you want to do?
Okay, so over here. Let's shoot over here.
Right, so this is a platoon that failed a blitz.
Fair blitz and
It's
they've
long range,
moved.
so 6s to hit me normally, fail blitz 7, and stabilisers 8.
8.
So, who are you going for?
These guys.
Right, okay. Let me think, does it matter? It actually does matter. There's a potential for me to make a save against 75 mil.
So these guys.
Right.
No. And then.
Oh, goodness sake. Peter's very good at this. Right, that's so annoying, folks. Nope. One did. Right, so next up.
I think that might be all the kit.
Well, you got little mortars. That wee one there, he's not really got a target because of the smoke. This one here still got my second in command. But here's the thing. I don't know. You've used a. Oh, I carry on. Right, so there's one under there, or you could try and drop.
Yeah, I'll try and drop a new target. So
you're going to have to add one on for the smoke.
The smoke,
right, because your template is over smoke.
If I popped it there,
to get me, I'm behind it. I'm in the smoke, so if the template, therefore the template will be on it.
Oh, right.
You see what I mean? You could go like that and potentially get 3 guys, but either way, the template will affect it.
Right. So 4s.
Yep. Second attempt.
Second attempt.
Right, so first guy on 5s. Next guy.
No.
And last guy. No. And these guys are all out of range. The infantry can't see me because of the smoke, and those guys dash to get into that position. So anything else?
Again, they will try and do the same thing.
That's right, we've got the other. Right, folks, these mortars try to range in, once again, in front of smoke.
There'll be 4s, 5s then to range in.
Yeah, 6s actually, because of terrain as well.
Right. Oh, no. And I don't think this guy failed his blitz.
He could still fire off some. No, he's not within 6. That's what you were trying to get anyway. So you might as well have a go because you've been not too bad with the old 8 so far.
So he moved.
Yep. So 8s because of the failed blitz, and there's a lot of failed blitz that turn. Double 1.
That's not going to do it.
No. Right, folks, got a last stand here, and you better pass or my plans are out the window. And he's going to get withdrawn. German turn 3 movement. So the Pumas are away, and over on the right I'm going to send out one base and my Panzerschreck to go tank hunting. See if I can do something to mess up those Shermans and possibly free up my Panzer force. My infantry over on the left need to dig in now, and they fail to dig in, which is a bit of a disaster because they're now sitting there in the open. They're going to go to ground, so they'll be hard to hit, but they are sitting there in the open ready to get machine gun to bits. So I'm now going to bring my Stummels back. Ideally I'd want the Stummels to go off and keep shooting up the artillery, but they're going to have to come back now and protect that objective because my infantry, I think, might just melt away. Right, so this is German turn 3 shooting. I'm going to start with MG fire into these guys. Right, I'll be needing 5s. Well, that's dramatic, folks. One, let me see, will I try and get, is there a light machine gun there at all? Too far back. Anybody at the front will do. Oh my goodness, where are we going to put this?
It just fits in there.
Fits in perfectly.
So, it fails.
Oh, right, he's away. That was very underwhelming. Right, so I'm going to use my west to self-spot into there. And they only manage it in the second attempt. That's okay. So, I should be able to get it.
No.
To get everybody apart from him. Right, so...
Was it second attempt?
Second attempt.
So we're in 5.
So first guy, nope. Second guy, yep. Bazooka, nope. Guy beside him, nope. And then one, yep. Nope. Nope. And nope. So 2.
2 guys. So this fella. Oh, he's gone. And then this fella. He's okay.
And then I'm going to use my second command. He's already dug in, wasn't subject to the digging in order. He's going to try and range the stews in. You can see he's just down here. And he gets it first attempt. So that's basically going to be...
The same again, is it?
Yeah, where did I put that marker?
Slightly different angle.
Right.
Same
Yeah,
again.
everyone apart from that is looking at the back.
You got first attempt, so heading 4s.
So missed, hit, Zook, missed, next guy hit, next guy missed, and then the last two, one, end guy. Right, so 3 of them hit there.
So this fella is alright, this guy, alright, this guy, alright.
Right. I've got our grade on those tanks. So I've got a Faust and a Shrek, and you're going to be concealed from both of them. I'm going to be out of command, so I'm looking for 6s because you're careful. So the Faust and then the Shrek. So I think all that's going to happen now is he will go in for an assault, so you'll get 5 dice of defense, 5 for 1 tank.
Hitting in 4s.
Going for 4s.
Only one hit.
Only one, but make a save, make a save, make a save. He's made a save, so you need a 3 to hit you. He does, so that's going to go straight through
Okay.
and bails you. So now you've got to motivate, and you don't. So I'd imagine that guy there will be fine. He'll just
move away.
And that's in close enough you can just move around that wall. And then I can consolidate. So what happens, he'll move behind, he'll move into the building, and I think that'll be it. Turn 4.
6 and this is, so I get a reroll.
Oh, there you go.
But they're confident, so they need a 4.
Confident, right, okay, so do these guys unpin. That'll do it. So they're going to keep steaming on. US turn 4 movement, and Peter is starting to close in for the kill now. He's got his infantry in a position to move up, the tanks moving up to support them, and my infantry not dug in, sitting on the objective. Now one of the platoon of Shermans doesn't make it over the hedge. The HQ, one is going to move out of the wood, and one's going to stay in the wood, because he's still aware of the fact that I could pop an ambush in that wood and shoot him from behind. There's infantry moving up, getting in close so that they're in a position to put more shots down on my infantry and also potentially assault. And over by the factory, Peter just wants to get away from my roving tank hunters, so he passes cross checks to move into the wood, keeping his Sherman safe and also protecting those priests.
American turn 4. Shooting. Okay, what we're going to do first? Let's try bombardment. Oh no, I can't. I need to be way here, wouldn't I?
Alright, just 4 inches away. Right, so that one that was ranged in from him is too close now,
Too
right?
close, right.
So he'll have to push back, but you've also got lots of other things that can bombard.
So let's go out for him first. So try and range in further back.
I'll be in the open, and then we can figure out where it is for danger close. I'll do it first attempt. Okay. Let's see. 4 inches.
And maybe only get coming from over here.
Still get 3 guys. And 2 for the HQ and 2 other guys.
So the HQ then, this is with the reroll.
Right.
Is that a hit?
Oh right, and then the other HQ.
Yeah. That's a miss.
So, save on him, sorry. I'll just do this now. Failed.
Is he still dug in?
He's never moved.
So it's
4 up.
4 up. No.
Right, and then 2 guys.
So this is the first roll for the 2 guys.
Right.
I missed.
Right.
And then is that it?
Yep. That's it for him.
So
Back a wee bit.
Right.
Right, and then who's doing spotting now? That
Yes.
battery you're okay.
Yes.
This battery can get some help from your scouts.
Uh-huh.
So maybe the MG can do the spotting?
Well, I think that's maybe only him that can spot. I don't know.
No,
I don't think any team from that,
aye.
because the Jeeps, see the Jeep doesn't say spotter on it. Whereas
Oh, right, okay.
the Observer, the Greyhound.
I see, I thought it was the whole platoon, but I see what you mean. Because you use the stats for the Jeep. Right, so he can spot.
So well, they can spot, they can self-spot.
Aye, I was thinking maybe for them.
Oh yeah. So self-spot,
Right.
that's good then.
So we've got Priest way at the back. We'll just work out
It's close to
where it'll land once we roll the dice. So there's not going to be any terrain under it. That'll get first attempt, so it'll be reroll successful saves, and they're in the open, folks.
So as many as I can get without saying 4.
Right, okay, and then that'll be fine. So you're going to be able to get 1, 2, 3, 3 guys, a Shrek, and a HQ.
So the 3 guys in,
Yeah.
hitting on
Force.
2 hits.
Shrek,
Shrek is a hit. And oh, I was going to get a hit.
right, so the Shrek, he's dead. First guy's okay, second guy is okay. Well, it's always the Shrek that goes.
So that was somewhere over there. The mortars. I think the mortar. Yeah, he's going to try and put it on top of him.
Right,
So
the mortar's through here.
is that going to be in the open again?
Yeah.
Yeah. So
Right, so what's that going to get on this face? It's coming.
it's coming. It's good.
Right, so you can
I
get
could only
2.
put it in his head, really, basically.
You can go 2 for the platoon and 2 for the HQ, but all the HQ different because they're in different places.
Right. So this is the first attempt.
Yep. He's okay, and then the infantry.
First 1, 2.
The buffet, sorry, I'm getting confused. Right, this guy here's a goner.
The blue. Yeah, I think you'll have to use
Yep.
this guy. He was going to shoot at them, but I think let's go for that then.
Right. If you go slightly away from your guys, because you know because of danger
Yeah,
close, you can go like that and there.
Right,
So it'll be terrain.
4s.
Rather, right, there could be terrain, or you could just have 2 with no terrain.
No, go for terrain.
Right, that'll do it.
Yeah.
Right, so this
So that is it.
This-
3 go up to 4. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So
guy.
and I need to reroll any hits because I'm only get 2. So I need to reroll that. No.
And then the HQ.
Yep.
Right, and there's that blue one. This one here a bit. What's this one? Well, that's the mortar Jeep, so it can try and range in.
Yeah, let's. Let's try that.
That'll do it. Right, so this will be, put it over here again because you're too close
Yeah,
to get him.
Yeah.
So HQ in the woods.
Is a hit.
Right. He's okay. HQ out of the woods.
Miss.
And then infantry guy.
Yes.
We've still got millions of dice to come in at these guys.
Okay, so what we've got, let's go for the infantry first. So I can only get. So he can get shots.
Right, so he's got, is he a light machine gun?
He's a light machine gun.
So there'll be 3 from these guys then that are firing over here. Just
So
want to check.
2 light machine gun gets 2.
Yeah, give me a second. Check, this is all on camera, sorry. Yep, so he can join in though. So 3 shooting down here. Went for 60s. There's 1. Right, and then you'll have 1,
2, 3.
2, 3. Into the platoon, wait for 60s again. Who do you want it on?
Let's put it on. Let's put it on this guy.
Right.
Oh, no, in fact, let's put it in that guy. Does it need to be within 8?
Right, so he's saved, another guy saved.
So we'll see. So that's all the infantry. The bazooka can't. He's too far away. So this platoon.
Right. So
So
to clobber my platoon, you don't have to worry about your 50 cals or whatever. You can just roll your dice, 5 dice each.
yes. It's about it didn't move. Five dice. So let's do them. 3 lots of 5s. So I need 6s again. 2, 3, 4, 5.
1, 2, 3. Everybody gets 1. First guy, cocked. He's a goner. Second guy, there we go, it's a goner. Third guy. Fourth guy. Fifth guy. That's terrible. Here endeth the game. Before you've even launched an assault.
This guy, he's going to fire his machine guns at dawn.
Right.
No. He can't get shot. He can't get shot. So I think that might be
It for shooting.
shooting, yes. Anything within 4 inches can I get within?
Oh, aye, absolutely.
So you've got a Panzerfaust.
1 Faust.
Do the HQ have a Panzerfaust?
No, that's HQ, he doesn't.
So is that? So I think I'll go in with the.
Yeah. So, a miss with defensive fire, so 3 clobbers on him.
That's it for the train, so 4. It's not a tactic, is it?
He's a goner. And absolutely no point in trying to
Do you want
fight on there, so I'm just going to back off. German turn 4, does he unpin? Oops, got HQs with him. There he unpins, which is a cue for getting out of dodge, and he does. It's always the same, folks. And he was going to get withdrawn. But do I need to withdraw now? Let me see. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I think I'm going to withdraw the Wesps. Or will I? Those infantry actually doing anything? Tell you what, those infantry, they're not doing anything. It'll take you forever to come over the table. And even if you do, you've got to deal with the Panzer Force. So I'm going to withdraw this platoon of infantry. German turn 4 movement, and things are getting pretty desperate at that objective. So I'm going to bring my Stumos out with the intention of shooting up the infantry. I'm not going to really try and take on the Shermans with front armour 7 and a jumbo and so on. The Shermans, I'm going to take them on by bringing out my Stumos to sit just where the hill is and pop them ambush. So I'm going to have plenty of dice, hopefully to clobber the infantry, maybe not destroy them, but take a good part out of them, and then also hopefully really gut those Shermans. And with the Shermans by the factory moving away, I'm going to bring my Panzer IVs out, see if I can move them across for the last couple of turns to try and support both sides of the table. German turn 4 shooting. You've heard the phrase, it's now or never? Well, it's now or never.
Get your good dice out.
Oh, right, I'll see if I can find them. Right, I'll try the Stumos because they were brilliant last time. Right, the Stumos are going to... Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm going to start with my HQ. They're going to shoot your infantry.
4 sparks.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 hits.
So it's got to go on the front lot because I've only got a 4
inch
range. Right, I want to double up on...
What are these two?
It doesn't matter actually. You can. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter.
I've got 2 on him.
Right.
He's away. And then this guy. And then this guy.
Right.
That's 3. They'll be pinned in it.
Maybe Stumos. See, they're doing absolutely terrible. 2. They had 3 hits out of 24.
So
I want to put it on 2. I want to put it on 2. Might as well stick it on a bazooka and this guy. You're trying to stick a target if you
yes,
wish.
I'll try and knock it back to the. Yeah, so put it on this guy.
Right.
And well, can I put
Yeah.
try that as well? No. So this guy.
Got the front, it's okay.
This guy.
Machine gun,
It's
it's okay.
Put that pencil.
Right. 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 Pack 40s. 3 of them are within 8 inches of the jumbo, so I'm going to roll them separate because it might, depending on how many hits we get, affect mistaken target. None. Oh well, that's going to end the game. That's unfortunate. Right, the other one is at 1 hit, so you want to try and stick it on him?
Yes, yes. Yes.
Yeah, so that happens. Right, let's do this. Get 1 hit, it's too close here, so I'll put it on that 76.
Okay, so what your stews? Anti-tank.
Let's see, you could possibly stick it on him if. No, wait a minute.
Depends who it was that shot it.
Yeah, you'd possibly stick it. I'm not bothered, the game's over anyway. So you do.
So
10, anti-tank 10. He's dead. Turn 5.
So American turn 5 starting step. So I've got to unpin this infantry. The HQ is still within 6. So yeah, so they're unpinned. That helps. Anything else?
That's it for motivation, so on to movement. US turn 5 movement, and Peter's starting with the Shermans in the woods who are going to pass a blitz to move forward to the edge to shoot at my Panzer IVs. One of them fails its cross check in the blitz, but then passes its cross check in the movement. And then over on the left hand side of the table, Peter digs in his infantry, but that's not necessarily a good thing to have done. He was worried about them, keeping them alive, but he was in a position to push on and win the game. You can't assault if you've dug in. The Shermans are going to stay put and shoot up the Stummels.
American turn 5.
Shooting.
Shooting. Right, what was I going to do first? Let's. I was going to repeat bombardment.
Right, so you've got
he was too close, so he's having to re-range in.
Where do you want to start?
Let's try and put it. I want to try and get all those and as many.
Right, okay, all of those will get you 1 gun.
1 gun. Right. So we'll do that. So
this is the terrain. Yeah. Try to range in again.
Second attempt.
Second attempt. Okay, so start with the gun on a 5.
Nope.
And then let's do 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, 1,
3, 4. So
2 are hit.
2 are hit.
Right, tag 3, folks.
Yeah.
What's it? 3, 2, and 4.
Yes.
He's failed.
So
He's a gunner.
I'll try and range in.
Because they didn't range him last
Yes,
time.
on the same spot as the.
Right, okay.
But they start off with a 4, so they can up to 5.
Yeah. This is the
So second
water half
attempt.
tracks. Okay. Second attempt, so. Nope. And then 1, 2, 3. He's okay, so 5.
And then
So currently you've got other things arranged. I
Yes.
have no idea what these are, there's so many of them.
the blue one. Let's go for the blue one. So,
Right, so the blue one is going to have 3 guns and 1 half track.
So,
So gun number
1. So 1 hit.
reroll,
Yes. Exactly. Yep. No.
and then a half track.
No.
Right, and then that one.
Yes.
Right, so once again that will be 3 guns and a half track.
So
So
this is the first roll,
right, okay, so that's like there and there, right?
and then re-roll.
Yep.
So 1
This
hit.
guy here. He's failed.
No.
You've got the pin on that's more important here. Right, 1 half track.
1 half track. No.
Right, and then we've got another, we've got this, which
Yes.
is that single guy.
Yes, so
He is just
is it too close?
got, oh, he's too close. I was going to have to range in.
Yeah.
What's his
Yeah,
range?
It's 40 inches.
Aye, so he's not worries in that respect.
So if I just move it further back then,
Aye, just try and see if you range in first and then we can figure it out.
so it'll be second attempt.
Second attempt, yeah. Right. What do you want more of? He's just a mortar, so...
More of this guy, but I need to stay.
Right, okay.
And there's 4 inches.
You can put him entirely on top of that if you like.
Whatever I can see it.
Oh, no, just go back. Yeah, you can see that, no bother.
Right.
Right, that will just go squarely on top of there and get 3 surviving half chance.
Where's my dice? So, was it in the opener?
Yes. You ranged in, did you know?
Did I? Oh,
Yeah.
oh,
Did you?
did I think it would have been the second attempt if it was.
I can't remember now, I'm all confused. Right, see you ranged in first attempt. So 3.
So, first one, second one.
So that was 1. That was 1. So re-roll successfuls. Single mortar.
Oh, right, it was the single mortar, isn't it?
No. So it's kind of right.
And that's all.
That's all that lot, but you've got the rest to do now.
Yes, let's see.
So still 3 of them left alive and you've got plenty of stuff.
I'll go over here first, shoot here.
Right, okay, so 1 is full rate of fire and no penalty for...
So it'll be 4s, 5s, 6s for the lot.
What we try to say here for the stabilisers.
So
He's going to be 6s.
6s. So no.
The other ones are going to be
7s.
7s.
Gets it.
For goodness sake. Failed. Dead. Well, in fact, I shouldn't bother rolling, sorry. Because that's got your HVAP thing. Oh no, I could have. Could have got a 13. Anyone talking rubbish? Roll your firepower. Anyone in particular?
No.
That one.
Around here, then this is, I've got to. So they've got to shoot at your. So there's 2 in the open, 1 concealed. Is that all? So they'll be hitting on.
What's firing? Sorry?
The infantry.
At
The
infantry, right, okay. So 1, 2, 3.
But he'll be concealed.
I think within 2 inches of that. So you're okay. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, and 5.
Oh, right. So they tried to dig in.
All right, so
So-
5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Only 5 hits. He's dead, and he's dead.
Right, so I've got to try and kill these guys.
Just keep shooting.
We'll go for
Yeah,
the
you got
harder shots.
Got a bazooka from that platoon.
Oh yeah, is that what it is? Is it 8 inches or 10 inches?
Well, that's fine, that's got range. Yeah, seriously, yeah.
Oh,
Of course, it's firepower. Bailed out.
so
Right. This platoon here?
yes, let's go for this platoon. So they.
I think it really doesn't matter if that's short range. No, it's fine. Okay, so 4 dice looking for 4s, and then that will be that. Yeah, game over. Whatever happens, they're not going to be alive by the end of it. Right folks, time for a recap. So it only lasted 5 turns, which is absolutely incredible for a game with me and Peter. I think in this game I never stood much of a chance at all because I was up against 1, 2, 3 full templates and 2 reroll templates. And my core defence was infantry. Peter didn't have a lot of tanks, so he could have taken a hit to that element really early, let's say, and that maybe would have really sort of gutted his formation, but he had enough smoke to get his tanks up to where they needed to be and push my ambush back. But you see not the movement in and out, and then eventually I wasn't dug in because I failed to dig in again and lost most of my platoon to one Sherman platoon of just MG fire. They could probably still be alive. If they were alive, I might be still holding on there. If they'd have managed to gut this platoon, then I could still be alive there because it was them that finished off the Stummels. So it could have gone either way at the end of the day, but I think my list was on the back burner, the back foot right from the get-go because of the artillery it was up against. Peter, what are you thinking?
No, it was I think I was lucky. I mean, I did want to try and come around this side because there was less the way of hedges and hills. I think it helped, my artillery helped, and also the fact that they had 3 smoke bombardments, just to keep off the ambush. No, I was happy the way it went.
A different mission might well have played differently.
Yeah.
But there you go, folks. This is what we're going to be doing, though. We're going to be playing attack manoeuvre against defence from now on, because we've actually managed to get a game in within 5 turns to a conclusion. If it had been a fair fight mission, we could probably be, maybe got the reserves on by now, you know. So there you go. Let us know if you think this is a good idea going forward or a bad idea going forward. But thanks for watching, and thanks to all the subscribers who follow the channel and you folks who pop in from time to time to see what we're doing. And if you hit the subscribe button and the bell button, we'll definitely see you all on the next one. Turn 1.
US turn 1 summary. So moving this platoon up here with the HQ, and then this other Sherman platoon has moved in here, and the recon has moved a bit further forward, but shooting, they couldn't shoot, the other couldn't shoot, so it's just artillery bombardments.
They couldn't shoot because of follow me's, folks.
Yes, so this priest managed to range in over in this infantry. They ranged in, but they didn't cause any casualties. No, there were no casualties from artillery.
No casualties, but there's 4 ranged in markers there.
The other priests ranged in here, the armoured mortars are ranged in here, and this little mortar here is ranged in over here. So hopefully next turn they can do some damage. And that was it.
German turn 1 turn summary. So in terms of motivations, everybody unpinned and then ran away. There's no point in sitting there. Running away is pointless as well, because it would range into me in the open. But if I keep doing the hokey cokey, I might survive long enough to withstand whatever assault comes in. So that was it. Oh, a wee bit of movement, sorry. The Stummels have dashed to here, the Pumas have dashed to here. And then in terms of shooting, the West ranged in over there, got 1 hit against a single target and it made it save. And then the Stews ranged in over here, got 2 targets, 1 hit, it made it safe. But they've ranged in, they might get them next turn. They have to do something to reduce the effectiveness of the artillery in this game, or there won't be anything to hold on to this objective, even when the infantry arrive, you know. Turn 2.
So US turn 2 summary, so no motivations, movement. This platoon with our blitz has moved up to here, likewise the HQ managed to move into the wood. Infantry are moving forward, some of them in here, some of them are out in the open, and that was all the movement. And then shooting, first of all I remembered my smoke bombardments, I put a smoke bombardment down here.
And that was armoured mortars.
And then I had to rearrange to get some of these infantry. So this platoon, priests managed to range in over here, using the spotter here. Did I get any kills with that?
HQ died, but then passed his warrior save.
Yeah. This priest battery failed to range in on the Stummels. This little I rearranged there,
But he was ranged in there, put a bit further into the wood to get more guys.
But it didn't kill anything.
Now, I think, was it a third attempt maybe? Second attempt. And he had to reroll successfuls.
This wee single mortar.
Yeah, because he's not got,
range in there.
he's not got enough artillery in there, folks. But that was third attempt, so that was with rerolling pairs of sixes.
Okay, and that was everything. That was.
And one of the things you're keeping those.
Yes, they're just there to try and keep your hands and floors honest.
German turn 2. So starting step, everybody unpinned. The 2 units unpinned here, and I've done my hokey cokey. We're back out, moving forward away from those artillery templates. The stews had to bug out. They were goners. They've put themselves behind that wood, and then successful blitz for both these units and 4 cross checks passed to move up to shoot at artillery, and then 2 teams are going out tank hunting. They blitzed up onto the hill, so they're still going to ground. They're not shooting, they're going to keep going to ground. So in terms of shooting, well, started with the west doing a smoke bombardment, because these guys are in the open, they'll get absolutely murdered. They could still get shot to bits, but he's going to have to come in close for that to happen. And that left here. These managed to, they were only in range of 1. One priest, but they managed to kill 1 priest, and then these totally fluffed their lines. They needed 5 to hit the priests because they were all at long range, and they got 2 of them, and they got 4s. The other ones were out of range, and they needed 5 to hit them, and they just rolled a load of 3s. So completely underwhelming. Otherwise, I could have potentially killed that mortar and maybe got those priests down to just 1 gun to give them infantry a bit of a chance. So it didn't quite happen for me in that turn. So things are definitely going to happen one way or another over here. Oh, and of course I didn't pop my ambush once again because I couldn't see them. Smoke bombardment prevented that. Turn 3.
Okay, American turn 3 summary. So there's no motivations. Movement. Move attacks here. Failed the blitz with these guys, failed the blitz with these guys, and also failed the blitz with the guys over there.
This is a 3-up blitz, folks.
Yes. So they've moved up here, closer to the objective, worried about ambush still to come. These guys have moved out, trying to get shots at the Pumas, and the infantry is moving there.
Didn't follow me.
That was all the movement. Shooting. Did a smoke bombardment with these guys over onto the hill, and then a smoke bombardment with these guys over here.
That was to protect.
The little mortar here managed to range in here, but didn't get any hits, no hits. And then these guys failed to
range in. Kind of in this corner here.
So that was that. And then these 2 76s missed the Pumas. One of the 75s managed to hit the Puma.
He needed 8s, folks. He rolled 4 dice and got 3 6s, so I was sweating, and oh my goodness.
So that was good. And that was this guy here had a shot here, or 2 shots, but he needed 8s and didn't get.
Did it still with 2 1s.
So that's me. That's
German turn 3 start step. Motivations, infantry unpinned. The last stand was passed on the Puma, and I withdrew the platoon. The platoon counts as destroyed, but that was always going to be my plan, to withdraw them. And then in terms of movement, the platoon failed to dig in, the HQ did. The Stumos moved over here from machine gun fire on the infantry, and then 2 bases infantry are going to keep moving up to do tank hunting kind of jobs. And then in terms of shooting, this was a total damn squib. They had 12 dice, needing 5s, got 1 hit, which saved. Then the artillery came in, the Wesps and the Stumo, the Stews. A few hits, not too many hits, but 2 died out of that. They didn't shoot because they didn't dig in. They're keeping their going to ground. And then over here, there were a couple of shots needing 6s on the way up. they failed. Then an assault went in, 5 dice of defensive fire from one tank, got 1 hit, I made my save, and then I got a hit and bailed him. Peter failed a motivation, so he was pushed off there, and then he consolidated up to there, he consolidated back into the building. So I was hoping to have done some real serious damage to them this turn with them being in the open. I could be in real trouble because I didn't dig in. Next turn, so we'll see what happens in turn 4. And remember folks, in turn 4 I'll be withdrawing another platoon, and all my platoons are kind of important. Turn 4.
So American turn 4, summary. My infantry that were pinned over here managed to unpin. The HQ was over here, so they got a reroll, but they managed to get double 6. And that was all. Movement wise, this platoon here, one gets stuck by the hedge, the other 3 moved up here. Infantry moved up here. This guy got out of the wood. This guy moved in the wood. The tank sitting here failed their blitz, but they've moved over into the wood here. And I think that was all. Firing. I concentrated my artillery on this platoon here. I had to slightly away. I had to keep within 4 inches of my troops. Didn't do much damage. I think maybe killed 1.
I think the artillery in the end only killed 1, but the Shermans made up for that.
And then the 3 Shermans came here and shot and killed quite a few. I don't know whether the infantry killed any.
No, I think the Shermans got them. Well, they got 3 bases. They failed. I failed 3 out of 4 saves against them.
So there were 3 left, rather, and there was an assault put in.
Just two bases from that platoon left.
All right.
And 1 for the HQ. One Faust and defensive fire missed.
And I got in, killed the guy that attacked, and then Frank decided to break off.
It's no point in putting one guy in for a counter attack.
And that was it.
I forgot to record the recap for turn 4 because it was quite an eventful turn. So here is the summary of the movement, and I'm just going to show you the dice rolling as it happened. Really here it's all about getting some stumos onto that objective, moving my HQ around a little as well. That's just 2 bases, mind. And then the stews are coming out and my ambush is being popped, so there's like an absolute wall of lead now in that corner defending the objective, but only the stumos in the HQ beside it. You've heard the phrase, it's now or never. Well, it's now or never.
Get your good dice out.
Oh, right, I'll see if I can find them. Right, I'll try the stumos because they were brilliant last time. Right, the stumos are going to... Actually, I'll tell you what, I'm going to start with my HQ. They're going to shoot your infantry.
4 sparks.
1, 2, 3, 4.
4 hits.
So it's got to go on the front lot because I've only got a 4 inch range. Right, I want to double up on
These 2.
It doesn't matter actually. You can. It doesn't matter. No, it doesn't matter.
I've got a good 2 on him.
Right.
He's away. And then this guy. This guy.
Right.
So that's 3. They'll be pinned anyway.
Maybe. Stimulus. See, they're doing absolutely terrible. 2. They've had 3 hits out of 24.
So
I want to put it on 2. I want to put it on 2. Might as well stick it on a bazooka and this guy. You're trying to stick your target if you wish.
I'll try and knock it back to the... so put it on this guy.
Right.
And, well, can I put
Yeah.
it? I'll try that as well. No. So, this guy.
Get the front, it's okay.
This guy.
Machine gun, it's okay.
Put that inside.
Right. 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 Pack 40s. 3 of them off 8 inches of the jumbo, so I'm going to roll them separate because it might, depending on how many hits we get, affect mistaken target. None. Oh well, that's going to end the game. That's unfortunate. Right, the other one is at one hit, so you want to try and stick it on him?
Yes, yes. Yes.
Yeah, so nothing happens. Right, the stews. Get one hit, it's too close here, so I'll put it on that 76.
Okay, so what are your stews? Right, anti-tank.
Let's see, you could possibly stick it on him if... No, wait a minute.
Depends who it was that shot it.
Yeah, you'd possibly stick it... I'm not bothered, the game's over anyway. So you do...
It's
10, anti-tank 10. He's dead. What a disaster. That's really unfortunate. That could have just turned it in my favour, but I think it's a total arse up. Oh well. Right. I think that's going to be it.
Right.
Turn 5.
Okay, American turn 5 summary. So the infantry who were pinned managed to unpin. They had the re-roll with the HQ. So they unpinned. Was that all? That was all the motivations. Movement. This platoon decided they're just going to stay where they stay put and shoot. These tried to dig in and failed. And then this platoon tried to blitz.
Passed it. Past the blitz.
Yes, they tried to blitz and passed, but 2 of them failed their cross check.
And then they managed to pass the cross check in normal movement.
Yes.
Normal movement.
Yes, and then I think that was it. And then shooting over here, I managed to knock out one.
Yeah, go one hit on a 7.
And then everything, all the artillery tried to range in and round about here. What did they do?
They killed.
They killed. They didn't. Did that? They killed.
They killed
this guy.
Yep.
Did he die?
And pinned the guns.
Pinned the guns. And then over here, the infantry managed to kill the 2 HQ that was remaining, and then the tanks opened up in the Stummels and managed to. They hit 3, but they might have destroyed them or not, but they bailed it.
Even if they failed the firepower, it would have been game over.
Mm-hmm.
Right folks, time for a recap. So it only lasted 5 turns, which is absolutely incredible for a game with me and Peter. I think in this game I never stood much of a chance at all because I was up against 1, 2, 3 full templates and 2 reroll templates, and my core defence was infantry. Peter didn't have a lot of tanks, so he could have taken a hit to that element really early, let's say, and that maybe would have really sort of gutted his formation, but he had enough smoke to get his tanks up to where they needed to be and push my ambush back. But you see the movement in and out, and then eventually I wasn't dug in because I failed to dig in again and lost most of my platoon to one Sherman platoon of just MG fire. They could probably still be alive. If they were alive, I might be still holding on there. If they'd have managed to gut this platoon, then I could still be alive there because it was them that finished off the Stummels. So it could have gone either way at the end of the day, but I think my list was on the back burner, the back foot right from the get-go because of the artillery it was up against. Peter, what are you thinking?
No, it was. I think I was lucky. I mean, I did want to try and come around this side because there was less the way of hedges and hills. I think it helped. My artillery helped, and also the fact that they had 3 smoke bombardments, just to keep off the ambush. No, I was happy the way it went.
A different mission might well have played differently.
Yeah.
But there you go, folks. This is what we're going to be doing, though. We're going to be playing attack manoeuvre against defence from now on, because we've actually managed to get a game in within 5 turns to a conclusion. If it had been a fair fight mission, we could probably be maybe got the reserves on by now, you know. So there you go. Let us know if you think this is a good idea going forward or a bad idea going forward. But thanks for watching, and thanks to all the subscribers who follow the channel and you folks who pop in from time to time to see what we're doing. And if you hit the subscribe button and the bell button, we'll definitely see you all on the next one.